Are we live?
Live.
We're live. Coming to y'all live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Turn Left Podcast, episode 9. I don't think I need to do too big of an intro. Y'all know why you're here. Y'all know why I'm here. We got a good episode tonight, though. I'm excited. Let us know how the audio is. What is up, everybody? Like I said, we got a good episode tonight. Before I get started, shout out to the sharers from last week and the week before and kind of even the week before that, because we've been slacking. I keep on saying that and then I don't have it prepared. But Ryan Vinson, he is the winner of Somewhat Out of Town. He's from a different part in Virginia. Of the Maybe merch. That's the Hope for One Day merch foundation. And if we ever have merch, he will be the first one to get a free t-shirt or whatever we have. I don't know. Shout out to Fuller, who was in the iRacing race today and got a hat made because he had Turn Left Podcast on the race car. But anyway, like I said, Ryan Vincent, shout out to him. He shared, I think, the past 2 weeks. Bud and Jennifer Allen, Megan McGrath, Alex Ayers the week before that. Michael Chapman, past guest we had on here. Can't remember which episode, I think 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Chapman Jr. shared it. Ryan Wilborn Hollywood, or Hollywood as a lot of people knows him. Mikey Earhart. All y'all shared again, by the way. Bud and Jen. Rodney Davis. He's been sharing a lot. Thanks, buddy. Fuller's been sharing a lot, obviously. Thanks a lot, Fuller. But either way, we got some hot topics for y'all. We got some hot stories for y'all tonight. Not the store, but yeah, hotter than any story you've heard. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably some stuff y'all have already heard, but anyway. Oh, shout out to, we'll get this out of the way. Not get it out of the way, I don't want to sound like that. Sponsors, Sarah K. Speed Shots, of course, Coast to Coast Design Company. And since the sponsors in the race car aren't getting much, recognition lately, we'll go ahead and say Don Hardison, Ryan Hudson's Beard Oil, Mike Myers Floor Company, Gabby's Graphics, Hayes Insurance. Thanks to all my race car sponsors, since obviously race tracks are shut down. So they're sitting very pretty on my car, but not getting much recognition at the track. So
we appreciate you guys. Hang in there.
Yeah, we do. Hang in there. Has anybody said anything about the audio last week? The audio wasn't bad. I don't want to continue this whole audio problem thing. It sounded good, and if you're on an iPhone or an iPad, it sounds great. But if you watch on a laptop or watch it on YouTube, it sounds terrible. So we don't really know what happened there, but we tried to figure it out. I don't know. I guess try to let us know if anybody's watching on a laptop or something other than a phone. What's up, Jack Dotson? We're trying to get him on the show. We're going to try to do a maybe 3-way situation, kind of like what he's been doing. We'll figure it out. It's all just kind of pending on, obviously, the baby coming any second. So, but yeah, we got some hot stuff tonight. Hotter than a ham and cheese hot pocket. Which I know I actually burnt my whole lip and my chin on a ham and cheese hot pocket. I bit into one, and it was like the piece of ham was folded over like that, and I bit into it, and it flapped open, and it flapped onto my lip, and literally gave me like a 2nd-degree burn all the way down my chin. It lasted like 2 or 3 weeks. Like I made fun of at school for it and everything. It was big.
How old were you?
Like elementary school. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like I wouldn't,
Ooh, Fuller's on. It says he's watching from a laptop. It says audio sounds good. We
Thanks,
appreciate you,
Fuller. Thank you, Fuller. That's all we needed to know. So on to the next thing. But yeah, speaking of hot, we had some hot jalapenos the other night. We get jalapenos all the time. We like hot, spicy peppers and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know if Hellboy grew these peppers or something, but I got these jalapeno peppers from Food Lion like I always get. I cooked up a steak, cooked up some chicken, and then just tossed the jalapenos on there for a little while. And Jessie took a bite before I did, and she literally just, her face went red, and it was like she was about to throw up and die, and it was, it was big. So
I was in more pain from that one bite of a jalapeno than I was from eating an entire Last Dab.
Yeah,
chicken
she
wing.
kept on saying it was worse than the Last Dab, worse than the Last Dab. So.
Like, I was crying,
It
and
was
I didn't
big.
cry from the Last
Yeah,
Dab.
I mean,
Like,
I was sweating. Like, I took a slice of it, and then as soon as I took one slice of it, it was like, I'm going to start cutting this up into little tiny pieces because it was so intense.
It was
I wouldn't
unbearable.
say worse than the Last Dab, but...
Mine was bad.
Yeah, you took a big chunk, I'm sure, before you knew better. Or before you realized.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize either. That was only the hottest jalapeno pepper I've ever had in my life. I've had hotter peppers. Don't get me wrong, but this was supposed to just be a jalapeno.
Right, like you eat it for the taste, like not for the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
My
like,
butt
I'm going into labor
at the toilet
tonight.
the next day. like I sat down and my butt just went at the toilet real hard.
Gross.
It was big.
Dude.
Yeah, that was gross. But
I think we all could have gone without that one.
I'm just saying, that's what happened. It was big. And loud.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
I can't see anything on my end anyway right now. I can, but I can't. But, oh yeah, so obviously I've got this Virginia flag right here. We were going to talk a little bit about Virginia. We never really do. But we need to tell y'all why it's the best state in the country and in the world. But it'll go up and down. I got a lot of facts here. 8 presidents born in the state of Virginia. I think they call it the state of mothers or something like that. There's a lot of presidents born here. I should have fact-checked that harder. It'll get better. Trust me. Yeah, Google that. 7 U.S. presidents are buried in Virginia. I think a lot of them are at the Hollywood Cemetery, though, so that doesn't count. It's kind of a cheater. But College of William and Mary, second oldest school in the U.S., 1693. My God, that's old. The state nickname is Old Dominion, just like the Speedway. So shout out to Old Dominion Speedway.
It's also nicknamed the Mother of Presidents.
The Mother of Presidents, that's what it is, because obviously 8 of them were born
U.S.
here.
presidents were born in Virginia, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, shout out to Old Dominion Speedway. It's not around anymore. Now it's New Dominion Speedway, which is fine, but shout out to all the old school guys that used to race at Old Dominion before they took it down. I think we need to turn down the volume a little bit. The first peanuts grown in the U.S. were in Virginia. Thomas Jefferson and George Washington were here at the radio. 6. Thomas Jefferson and George Washington homes were here. Monticello and Mount Vernon. Sorry, these ones. Nobody really cares about these ones. They get cooler, I think, in my opinion, as we go along. But the state song, Carry Me Back to Old Virginia. I meant to YouTube that today. Does anybody know that song? Do you know that song? Carry Me Back to Old Virginia?
I mean, maybe if I heard it.
Yeah, I should have looked it up. I don't even know who. It didn't say the artist or anything. It just said the song. So I don't know what that means. But, Patrick Henry's Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death speech was in Richmond, Virginia. And I think that you learn this stuff as kids, and you don't care at all.
No.
I don't remember that it was in Richmond, Virginia. I mean, I knew that it was somewhere around here, but I didn't, I don't know. It was at St. John's Church or something like that.
Think of all those historical field trips that we went on as kids that meant absolutely
to Williamsburg
nothing.
And stuff like that, which, I kind of skipped over all that because I feel like because of the field trips, keep in mind, I'm not trying to argue with you, but a lot of people do know about the Williamsburg stuff because of field trips, as opposed to I try to bring up some stuff that maybe people wouldn't know, or stuff that I didn't know.
Did you not do Richmond field trips?
No.
Oh. I went to a bunch of stuff in, like, Hollywood Cemetery and all that stuff.
I think we went to Hollywood Cemetery in elementary school or something. But either way. So yeah, the Give Me Liberty, Give Me Death speech. That was in Richmond. St. John's Church. I don't know if that's still around, but anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what the state beverage is? This couldn't get any better for this podcast. What's the state beverage of Virginia?
Is it beer?
Milk. I swear, dude. Virginia's state beverage is milk. So shout out to milk, and shout out to, we've got Michael Chapman Jr. supposed to be chugging a gallon of chocolate milk here in the future. We're getting that organized and trying to wait a little bit on the coronavirus quarantine so we can get that going. But
yeah, we're also working up a waiver for him to sign so that we don't get sued for this.
I've already gotten 2 of them signed.
Oh my God.
I've already gotten 2 waivers signed, and I guess he'll have to sign one in person, but I'm sure he'll be willing. So yeah. I never knew that about the milk being the state beverage.
That's hysterical.
Oh, and it's also considered a very green state because even though it's one of the oldest states, 62% of it is still green or forested. So a lot of still,
That's nice.
Yeah, not too grown up, even though Richmond's pretty grown up. You know, Northern Virginia's really grown up. Virginia Beach grown up. Still a lot of it not so grown up. So
Yeah, I mean, we've got the state park right outside our yard. So
the biggest state park in Virginia too.
that's true.
7,000 something acres.
Yeah.
It's later down in this list, but the first woman-run bank in the U.S. was in Virginia in 1903. Magdalena Walker. Oh, here's a weird one. Parts of Virginia, the Tangier Islands. I never really knew about the Tangier Islands. Did you?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, so apparently it has its own dialect that sounds very Brit because it's so isolated that they came here in 1680, and it's so isolated that they still speak like overseas, over the pond, like Brits.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. So technically part of Virginia, the Tangier Islands, is so isolated that it has people that's still talking Old English, or that's probably not the right word for it, but you know what I'm talking about.
That's really interesting because it's not even like it's off the coast. It's in the bay.
Wow. It said it's a really isolated island.
It
All
is.
stuff I didn't know. This could be bro science, but this was on I did my research.
No, I mean,
it
it's
up.
tiny.
I
Like,
know-
if you
I know
look it
you're
up
not
on the
doubting
map,
me,
you
but-
can't even find it. Like, it's
Really?
just like you just see like the little pin. You don't even see the
What's the population,
look.
do you think?
um,
But either way.
I think it says
Smithfield ham. That was started, I think, in the late 1700s. And they have this whole list of things that you have to do, credentials that you have to have for it to be considered a Smithfield ham, all the way down to how long it's smoked, all this crazy stuff. It's been in law for like forever. But yeah. Technically, there's not any major league sports teams here, which makes it the largest state to not have one, which is crazy to me. Granted, we got Washington Redskins, Washington Capitals, so that it's kind of a cheat because we have all that right up in D.C.
yeah.
So, and Redskins training camp is in Richmond, Virginia, but technically we don't have any major league sports in Virginia, technically. Virginia is the internet capital of the world. I don't know if y'all knew that, but 70% of internet traffic goes through Virginia, Ashburn, in Loudoun County. I think it's Northern Virginia. By the way, has over 5 million square feet of data space. 70% of all the world's internet, I already said this, traffic passes through VA. The Pentagon is the world's largest office building. That's also in Virginia. Dirty Dancing was filmed here. I've never seen it, but it's a big movie, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that place is like 2 hours from here.
Yep. Virginia laws can be funny, though. It's illegal to tickle women in Virginia.
I'm 100% behind that.
It's also illegal to trick-or-treat in Virginia. It's a law that they've never changed.
Wow.
It's old law. So I don't want to end it off on a BS law that makes you, like, question all of these laws I just gave you or all these different ideas I just gave you. But either way.
Jack Dotson says it's the moonshine capital of the United States.
Yeah,
That's
Franklin,
pretty cool.
Franklin County. I mean, you've seen
Oh
the
yeah, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that
That's
is
so
true,
cool.
Jack Dawson. Which he's got a moonshine or a distillery sponsor for his podcast. I can't remember the name of it. We were supposed to take a shot of it, but Jack Dodson forgot the bottle at home, which really means you drink all of it, Jack. And I support that. I'm just kidding, Jack. But Martinsville is here, though. I mean, that's our Virginia. That's the oldest and the best track in NASCAR series history, everything. And shout out to Brenden Queen, Butterbean, who won the Blake Morris Memorial 200 race today. Shout out to Fuller for doing the sponsor in the hat on his race car. That was pretty cool. Tanner Griffith's been doing well. He's been having some bad luck. He's been running off on real bad luck. Last night, the first race I watched, I'm not good with this iRacing stuff, so I just watch them as they send them to me in text message or whatever, tag me in them. I tell them to do it all because I like to watch it. I just don't know how to keep up. I don't know what all these different races are. It's confusing. So either way, in the first race, he was running like fourth, and then a guy spun and clipped him up in the wall. He got wrecked out. Second race, his computer cut off, which I guess is just a part of iRacing, but I guess your normal car could cut off, and that's realistic stuff. It still sucks. And then today, He was mid-pack, back of the pack, but either way, beginning of the race, and somebody spun, and he was like getting through on the inside, and the car like kind of spun around and just tagged his right rear, and it spun him around and slammed into the inside wall at Martinsville. So sucks for that, but shout out to him. Shout out to, like I said, Butterbean for winning the race today. That's pretty awesome. I know he's excited. He's a iRacing guy anyway. I think he does a lot of it. If anybody's, I don't think he's probably watching. Somebody tag him.
Ooh.
And Andrew Fuller's friends with him, I think. Fuller, tag Brenden Queen, Butterbean, since we're talking about him, and I'm going to continue talking about him here in a second.
Not to go off topic, but Lindsay Warburn said she thinks Turn Left Podcast should have to take a Virginia field trip to show off some of the Virginia facts. I think that's a really cool idea.
That we should have to take a Virginia field trip?
We should do our podcast from historical places. Do a Virginia field trip. Go to the Hollywood Cemetery or something.
Okay, we'll leave that to the people that don't have kids, and y'all can video it and send it into us. We will cut it and put it into this podcast.
Homebody.
But yeah, well, that and it's quarantine, and there's a lot more to setting all this up than we can't just break it down and set it up, and it's not that easy. It
Maybe
seems
we'll
that
take a
easy. I
field
thought
trip
it was
and
that
make a
easy,
video
but it's
about it.
it takes me an hour or two just to get it all set up and ready. But it only takes me 10 minutes to break it all down. Yeah, that's the easy part. But yeah, back to Butterbean. I had a guy at work that went to Virginia Beach and said that he was obviously younger than I was. He was my helper at the time, but he went down to Virginia Beach for the weekend, and he was like, yeah, man. I told him that, I drove a race car at Southside Speedway or whatever it was. This was years ago. And he was like, yeah, I just met a guy at Virginia Beach. He'd already been my helper a long time, just we hadn't talked about it. And it ended up being that he was at a beach fire or something with Brenden Queen. They were talking about racing or something. He's like, oh yeah, maybe it was after, I can't remember. Now the story's all mixed up. He's like, oh yeah, I think my buddy Ethan races, Ethan Ayers. And apparently Brenden Queen was like, oh, the guy with the gold car. I've never even met him. He doesn't even know who I am. I don't really know who he is, but we're friends on Facebook or whatever, and I've got the gold car, obviously. I'm one of the few guys, but he's like, oh, the guy with the gold car. So that was pretty tight that, even through a beach bonfire party, through my helper, through a different county, he kind of knew who I was.
Like
pretty
7 degrees of racing.
Yeah. But I think I lost it in my thing. When were we supposed to, did I already cut you off? And I also thought of a new name for, instead of not tell me something good that somebody else's.
Yeah.
We're always going in the wrong direction in this podcast. We'll do 2 left turn segment. And that should be a U-turn back into the good direction of whatever you talk about.
That's a really long name.
It just be called the 2 left turn segment.
Oh, okay.
Which would be a U-turn, which would be going back the other way and be good.
Ah.
Yeah,
okay,
just
that's fair.
I wouldn't give that whole memo each time.
Okay.
I should have even given it that time.
All right. So a little bit of quarantine news. I know everybody's probably over it at this point too. I am tired of talking about quarantine and COVID and Corona and all of it. However, I thought it was really exciting, especially since you just brought up the fact that Virginia is such a green state. According to the International Energy Agency, which provides an almost real-time view of the COVID-19 pandemic's extraordinary impact across all major fuels. Based on an analysis of more than 100 days of real data so far, the IEA's Global Energy Review includes estimates for how energy consumption and carbon dioxide emissions trends are likely to evolve over the rest of the year. And basically what they found is that as before COVID happened, we'd steadily been on the rise, obviously, and it looks like this year we're going to drop by 8%.
Of what? What's consensus?
Of greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay,
so basically our carbon footprint on the earth in general has dropped 8% because of COVID.
Gotcha, okay.
So yeah,
well, that's good. I'm surprised it's not more than that with everybody staying home. And I don't think, I could only imagine that the military is probably not doing as many test hits on planes taking off. Maybe they are.
They're doing flyovers to thank
well, that's fine,
first responders and stuff. Think about how much fuel that takes.
Well, that's what I'm saying is when you're in the military, when they do I can't remember what it's called, but touchdowns. That's where you literally fly up, touchdown, fly up, and they do it for hours. So you're burning hundreds or thousands or $100,000 worth of fuel just in that training session. So that's what I'm saying, that
they can probably do that pretty safely.
The flyover is not even a piece of hay in the stack compared to all the guys practicing flying, is what I'm saying. I don't know how much of that's going on, but maybe if there's a military person watching, they can let us know.
Hollywood said everybody's not at home, they're at Lowe's.
True. And Walmart.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody's still out shopping.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Good
point. I still go to the food line, grocery store every once in a while, but...
I mean, you're still working. You're still driving around just as much as you always have been.
Well, I have to. I'm just saying that
there's so many
I could
essential
bulk
employees.
up more each time that I go to food line, but I don't. But it is what it is. Wasn't there one other one or two other ones?
Yeah.
But yeah, the environment in itself is looking good, which we knew that. But like I said, I'm surprised it's not more than 8%. Because I mean, now that we're going to be shut down for 2 or 3 months,
it's global.
Quarter of the year.
Globally, though. And so, because the shutdown has been staggered, it's not like the whole world shut down at once.
Yeah.
And we were all still living our lives while China was shut down.
And then vice versa now, probably.
Right, exactly.
Somewhat.
So, 8% is 8%. I think, Also, on this day 100 years ago, the first baseball game was played, and I hate this term. I hate even, having it come out of my mouth. Was played in the Negro National League. So, that's what it was called.
Cool. When
but
was
I feel
this?
bad saying
1912?
100 years ago today.
Oh, 1920.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was an Indianapolis team. The ABCs beat the Chicago American Giants in the new league that was initially composed of 8 teams, including the Chicago Giants, the Cuban Stars, Dayton Marcos, Detroit Stars, St. Louis Giants, and the great Kansas City Monarchs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, what, was there a third one? I thought there was. No? It doesn't, either way.
I just found this article over the week that I found interesting. It's not really news, technically. It was an interview about this podcaster who has a disability. And it was about his story of, he was interviewed 2 years ago. He was 23 at the time. And he just was kind of explaining how podcasting had changed his life. He said it helped my confidence and social skills immensely. I would cold call agents, managers, or even the person themselves to get interviews. I've been doing courageous things my whole life. Why not add obtaining interviews to that already long list? I used to hate my high-pitched, breathy voice, which is caused by my CP, and thought it was a distraction from the content I was trying to deliver. But yeah, so he said, and he also says that he does his own editing and stuff, and that has helped his hand-eye coordination and his physical mobility.
Okay.
So becoming a podcaster
What's his name?
Improved his. He goes by DJ Bob.
Shout out to DJ Bob. That's a tight
yeah,
name.
yeah.
DJ Bob. He should go live on Facebook and stuff like that, like all the DJs are doing now, which I enjoy. Everybody hating on these DJs. Not everybody, but some people are. A lot of people sharing that I know, which is I agree with. I like jamming to some DJs that are in their basement or whatever. They got all their stuff set up the same. It's all the same, really. You're just watching on your phone. You don't have to go somewhere to find it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same as people having prom and stuff on Zoom.
That's whack. Sorry, but I'm just saying it's different and gay.
Okay.
Or not. Sorry, gay is being fine, but or whatever. Sorry, I'm backpedaling now. Prom, Zoom, not cool.
It sucks.
Internet DJs during a quarantine, cool. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I was watching a video of a skateboarder the other day, and one of those videos you watch, kind of like when they're dancing around the top of a building, and you're like, oh, don't fall, but if they do, you're that's what you're kind of watching it for.
I hate those videos.
I know, but I love them. A lot of people hate them. But I was watching the skateboarder, and he was going down a hill, and he couldn't stop. And he ended up there was a busy intersection coming up, and he could not stop. He was doing everything he could. He should have just bailed.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And he went through the intersection, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, like he's going to get hit, and I'm about to watch it, but I have to keep on watching it. And then he went through the intersection and didn't get hit. I'm like, I guess the video is great, but it just, I understand it. This happened.
Are you saying it was anticlimactic because this dude get killed by a car?
Yes, but it wasn't, and it wasn't live enough for me to appreciate it because I didn't know the guy. This happened to me when I was a kid. We were at Tyler Groves' house. Shouldn't have name dropped him, but
yeah, Michelle's gonna be mad now.
We were chilling with Jonathan O'Brien. He was older than us. I don't think he was babysitting us. I don't know. He was just chilling, playing basketball or something. So we had a scooter. He's like, let me see the scooter. So he starts going down this hill over on Shadow Ridge on the scooter, sitting down. He's not riding the scooter. He's just chilling on it, sitting down with the handlebars way up here. Starts going down the hill.
Like a razor scooter?
Yeah. And he had his feet, I guess, just like, I don't know where. I don't remember.
Okay.
So he starts going down the hill, and obviously there's no way to stop. That you're supposed to stop with your back foot. So he's sitting on his butt, going down this hill full speed. And me and Tyler are watching, like, oh my God, like, he's not going to be able to stop. You know what I mean? And he realizes it pretty quickly. He can't stop.
Yeah, that's
so
a steep hill.
We're waiting. You know, he's about to go through the intersection of Brandonville Parkway. And we're like, oh my God, like, we can't help him. We can't chase him down. But we're literally the same thing, like, awaiting a train wreck. Very glad he didn't get hit. That would have been a not good climactic story. But I'm just saying, that was entertaining because as soon as he got through the intersection, we thought he was going to get hit. It was like we both looked at each other and were like, oh my God! Like, that was the craziest thing we'd ever seen. But I'm watching a stranger on Facebook or YouTube go through an intersection. I'm expecting him to get hit. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God.
What do you think? You are a deep lover of people going through hard pain, so you watch ridiculousness on loop and you laugh harder at the ones where people get viciously hurt a lot more than the ones that are just like silly.
That, to an extent, I like, like people falling and stuff like that. I don't like to watch people get hit by cars. Okay, yes, I like to.
Oh, if somebody gets hit by a car, you're laughing, dude.
That's
don't
not
get
true.
that wrong.
That's not true.
Don't try to lie to our fans. If we have any already watching.
No, we have 0 viewers right now.
I don't want to drop the F-bomb if nobody's watching, It's just us.
No.
But we are coming to you live unless you're watching tomorrow. Or the next day. You can watch it anytime. And it's on YouTube now, too. So go like and subscribe. And if you do that, then that's
a good little plug you put in there.
That's live to tape, as they say in the industry. Where it's not live, but it's not edited. So it's live to tape. I don't know, dude.
All right.
I think that's right.
Cool
Somebody that actually
jargon.
knows anything about production will be like, no, that's not right. I think I heard it on a show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I read it on the internet.
So it's definitely right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But, yeah. So shout out to Jonathan O'Brien, or Pooski. He goes by Pooski. He's probably not watching. Somebody tag him. Alex is friends with him. I don't know if Alex is watching. He's at the campground. But, so yeah.
Good.
Going down the hill, I don't know if you've ever had that. I think once in a wagon. I was riding a wagon. I was going down a hill and I couldn't stop. You ever had that feeling?
Where I'm like...
You couldn't stop and you're helpless because, like, you have no brakes. And, like, or, like, in a car where the brakes don't work.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me.
Yeah.
In your vehicle, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Brake line broke and I'm just, like,
It's working until you got there.
Yeah.
What about, do you have dreams where you're falling? You sent me one earlier where you said you dreamed about...
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. I mean, I do have dreams that I'm falling. I personally, I mean, I've had sleep paralysis, so I've had some pretty horrendous nightmares. But, I was listening to Call Her Daddy, which is that? It's a female-led podcast. It's actually super raunchy. But I had heard of it from a couple people, so I was giving it a try. And they were talking about dreams because one of the girls on there has sleep paralysis, and they were talking about how apparently, and I've read it a couple times in the news as well, apparently people have been having like crazy vivid dreams during quarantine.
Just during quarantine?
Yeah, like since people have been under quarantine, their dreams have been affected by it. Like people's sleep patterns have changed.
Drug-induced?
I mean, potentially. I don't know. People are drinking. Well, we talked about how substance abuse and
Drinking
drinking.
takes away your dreams.
I don't know. I'm sure that's different for everybody.
Marijuana adds dreams.
We'll have to find statistics on that.
Yeah, do we have any drug addicts watching? Let us know about this. What drugs give you the least and the most? I hope my pastor's not
Oh my
watching.
gosh. But so anyway, yeah, they were talking about how there's a really common dream that people have where their teeth fall out. Have you ever had that dream where like you lose your teeth?
Is that why people grit their teeth?
No.
Oh, okay. No, I've never had that.
You've never had that dream? Okay, so I've had that dream a couple times.
I'm an adult.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, but so apparently it's a super common dream, like that you like lose all your teeth, and it's related to. Oh, TJ says LSD will give you some crazy dreams.
Thanks, TJ.
That makes sense.
That was not when he was living with me, folks. That was not the drug addict I was referring to, and I was expecting an answer. And I don't think it gives you crazy dreams, TJ. I think that's when you're awake. Those aren't dreams. We're talking about when you go to sleep.
I'm sure you have residual effects.
Who knows?
I don't know. I honestly, this is embarrassing. I don't know what LSD is, but I also heard that Molly and is it like the same thing as like ecstasy? I don't know these things, but apparently like Molly or ecstasy, a couple days later will have like residual side effects on your dreams and stuff like that, and you can get sleep paralysis that way too. Not that I know from personal experience.
Wow. Liar.
Hollywood says he always heard if you hit the ground in one of those dreams, you're dead. Has anybody ever hit the ground in that dream? Has anybody had a falling dream and hit the ground?
Oh, dude, I have a falling dream all the time, but I've never hit the ground. I've had a couple of them. One where I ramped this bike off this like 70-foot ramp. I've had that dream like 3 times, and I'm always riding my mom's antique bike that she used to have. Sorry. And it like literally just busts into pieces when I land. So that dream always happens, and
yeah, Jennifer Allen says she always wakes up
right before landing.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's interesting. Isn't that in like a scary movie too?
And it's all these people that have dreams of falling and waking up. Has everybody that has that feeling jumped off of something really high and know that feeling? Like I know that I jumped off of a rock, like at Smith Mountain Lake, dude. I mean, like 40 feet up in the air.
Yeah, I've never jumped anything like that.
I mean, this was way too high. I should have never done it. I hurt my neck. First of many neck injuries for this guy, but that was a big one. It hurt for like a week or two. Cause I didn't back flop, but it was like this angle right here.
Wasn't normal, yeah.
To where my head, then like as soon as I went in the water, it pushed my head up that way, and my chin like slammed into my chest. It was big. I think I was like 12. I didn't want it. I was like hanging on to this like rope that's been at the top of this rock since like Columbus found this place. Or was the other one to find this place. And then they were like giving me a countdown. They went off first, to where it's a little narrow path. You can't even see until you're on the ledge. You can't even see how high you are. So they took me up this little path to get up there. They're hanging on. They jump off. So as soon as and once you're hanging onto the rope, it's like if you let go of the rope, you're falling off and not jumping off. So I get up there. He jumps off. I get up there, hang onto the rope, and look over the thing, and I'm like, oh my God, I literally freak out, don't know what to do, but there's not really any way to go back down, and I don't know how to get back down, and I'm not about to look like a little
stuck
wussy.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
You're in it.
So they gave me a countdown, and I just jumped at 1, or whatever, you're supposed to. It works for me, guys. If you ever want me to do something, just give me a countdown. I'll do anything. Because if I would have jumped off that rock at that age, I'll literally do anything. I did not want to do that, and I did. And then, I didn't want to do that? Because I almost broke my neck. And did a back flop. It was real bad.
Actually, that's not true. What was that? I guess it would be considered a roller coaster at King's Dominion that goes all the way up and then drops. Oh, right, yeah. I've done that. That was miserable.
So
I'll never do that again.
Yeah, either way, it's the same feeling.
Yeah.
Just
a little bit more controlled. Thing. It's horrible.
I don't know. You're always supposed to land on you're always supposed to wake up before you land.
Yeah.
But cats are always supposed to land on their feet, and that doesn't always happen.
Wow.
The cat across the street, Crookneck Cat, the name.
Yeah, that poor animal.
Their back porch back there is like 20 feet off the ground. I mean, it's a one-story house with a 3-story back porch because the elevation
It's
is
built
so
into
bad.
like a hill.
Huge hill. So apparently, I wasn't living here when this happened, but the cat's been this way since I lived here, and that cat fell off that porch one day, like 20 feet up in the air, and landed on its neck. And it's literally, it walks around, it's fine. It literally does
Yeah, it's
everything
like a
fine.
happy
Walks
cat.
around, runs around, does everything it's supposed to do. It can jump a little bit, and I don't think it goes up on that porch anymore. But like I said, literally its whole neck is just like seized up one way, and he can't move it, can't do nothing. But he, fell off the porch, dude. Did not land on his feet. Landed straight on his dome. So.
No, Ryan, he's not throwing cats. That happened before we moved
Me?
here.
I
Yeah.
have to do a cat?
He said, "Dude, you're not throwing cats, are you?" No, we were.
That
This
did
was
not happen before.
totally
I thought
unrelated
that
to.
makes it sound like I was throwing cats before we moved here.
No,
No, this happened.
this
before we
happened
moved
way
here.
before we even moved into the neighborhood. That cat's been
Even if
walking
you
around
throw them,
with
Ryan,
a
they're
neck.
still supposed to land on their feet, dude.
I've chucked our cat. Granted, she was attacking
Not off
me.
a 20-foot porch.
No, I chucked her off the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else say anything else? We missed a couple comments last week.
Oh, Jennifer Allen says she rode the Tower of Terror at Disney, and she said dropped about
Do we need to
13.
scroll back to how much did we miss? The Tower of Terror. Is that scary?
It's like
I've never even heard of that. I don't go to amusement parks that much.
it's
Yeah.
like Drop Zone, but I don't think it's like Drop Zone where you're strapped in. I feel like it's like, isn't it like an elevator? I don't know.
Where is this at?
Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah.
No wonder I've never heard of it.
You went to Disneyland, Jennifer? What, when they went to Daytona one weekend or something?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like an elevator. You go up. It's like the Haunted. Have you ever seen the movie The Haunted Mansion?
I don't watch movies, guys. Well, I do. I watch kids' movies with my daughter, and that's about it.
Well, there's a Disney movie called Tower of Terror, and in the elevator.
And I watch Tiger King. And Making a Murderer. First season. Second season, get out of here. You already told me that you're not going to... Okay.
Jennifer,
about
you
to
were
spoil
a
it.
cheerleader?
Nice. I was going to spoil it last week, but I didn't, and now I'm going to anyway. Making a Murderer, first season, all this climax, all this stuff, you never figure anything out. You know what happens in the second season? You never figure anything out. I need a conclusion. If I'm going to watch a show, I better damn get to the end of it.
But it's an active thing.
Okay. I don't know what to think about that. Yeah.
It's
Make
like
the movie
currently
after.
going on.
Yeah, but it's pretty dead in the... You know what I mean? It's an interesting story, but it just didn't have an ending, and he's still, I don't like it. It just leaves me hanging out on the... I'm cliff hung forever.
Or until they get this case figured out. It's still...
When? Never?
I don't
I'm
know.
not waiting 18 years for the next season of... And that was the first case. This one's already been going on now for the same almost. It's insane.
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
We forgot about Steve Porter last week. I don't know if he's watching right now, but I'll make him catch up if he's not. He wanted to find out how quickly I could run a 40-yard dash. So
Yeah,
what do y'all
what?
think?
Are you
40-yard
gonna do
dash
another-
is a standard, time for doing an NFL or MLB, Columbine, something like that. You find out how fast an athlete like myself can run a 40-yard dash.
Do you just call yourself an athlete?
Yeah. Even though recent season's canceled right now, and some people wouldn't consider that an athlete. But either way, I called myself that either way. And what do you think I could run? What time? What is everybody else saying? I feel like other people that know famous athletes, I think sub 5 is like famous athletes.
I have no idea.
I don't
Jennifer
either.
Allen used to run track and field too. Good
Well, I
grief.
could definitely smoke you, Jennifer.
She was like
no
an
offense.
all-star in high school.
Yeah, she was. She
So
still
did
is.
Hollywood. God, I
You
went
used
to
to run
run.
track and field?
Chapman didn't, and he's the biggest foot racer of us all.
I did see him lose, I think, one time, though.
Wow.
And it was to me next week. Now, I think I did maybe one night. I think it was the time he was wearing the dinosaur costume.
On Halloween.
Yeah, I think he lost that night. but just a little bit. But so yeah, let me know what y'all think I could run a 40-yard dash in, and maybe I'll do it. Sub 5, I mean, that's like pro athlete stuff. I don't think I'll be able to do sub 5. I can run pretty fast. Probably not that fast. I don't really know what times are. I'm surprised I've never done it myself. I haven't played sports in a long time, but I did play high school basketball a little bit. But maybe they checked it and they just, I don't remember it. I don't know. I don't think they checked it. It's more of a football thing.
Jen was 6th in the district for 100-meter hurdles in middle school.
Dang. Jennifer.
Hollywood did hurdles too, apparently.
The leapers.
Look at y'all. True
Track
athletes.
leads.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Super impressed by that.
Yeah, speaking of Chapman, I got my roof replaced a couple weeks ago, which is super nice with these heavy rains we've been having, except for this boom lift thing they had turned my backyard into a motocross track. So now I'm cutting. I cut the grass the other day and I got air time. Like I'm not cutting the grass in this section if I jump the rut. You know what I mean? Like, this section's still tall. It's okay. It's pretty bad, but I think it'll erode together. But shout out to my roofers.
They did a great job.
They did.
Our roof is so pretty now.
It is much better looking. My backyard. But
it's literally like one rut.
There's a couple. I'm not actually mad about it. I'm just, because it would have happened anyway, no matter who did it. I'm just giving them a hard time. But yeah, it was just like funny the other day when I was like, felt like I was in a whoop section of a motocross track and I was trying to cut the grass. It's like I'm bottoming out on the dirt. And it's fucking dirt. It's like, oh my God. But either way. Oh, and also, you want me to do a full Columbine? What is the word called? NFL Columbine?
I don't think so. I don't think that's what it's called.
What is a Columbine? A shooting?
Columbine is the high school. Yeah.
I sound like an idiot. What is the NFL? But we'll do 40-yard dash. We can do pull-ups. How many pull-ups do y'all think I can do? I used to be able to do 10, but that was a while ago. So I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I've gained weight and not muscle.
It's
so I don't
sympathy
know if 10.
weight.
It's sympathy weight. I'm in a pregnancy right now. Okay? I'm not pregnant, but I've got the weight. It's the NFL.
I'm trying to Google it, and it's just not.
Either way, has anybody else heard of this? I didn't hear about this literally until
Combine.
Combine.
Thank you, TJ.
Thank you, TJ. The people breaking their arm while arm wrestling. I'd never heard of this until I watched a disgusting video of it, where a guy broke his arm while arm wrestling, obviously. So.
Really? That's what I think of every single time I watch somebody arm wrestles. Somebody's arm is gonna break.
Really?
Literally every single time I see an arm wrestling competition.
Break of, like, I don't understand the breakage. Like, I saw the video of it, but I still don't understand why it happened. Like, probably didn't drink enough milk. But anyway, you're not breaking Hollywood's arm, you know.
I don't know, man. Every single time I watch an arm wrestling competition, all I can think about is somebody's bone is gonna break.
That's so strange. I've never thought that in my life. But it does happen. So you know better than I do. It's just, I can't believe other people have thought that. I never would have thought that. And it is that. Like, granted, it's one video, and I didn't even know about it until now, but still, like, they were talking about it like, hey, I don't arm wrestle. It's dangerous. And I was like,
literally is.
Arm wrestling can, is annoying, but to call it dangerous is one thing. They're like, yeah, breaking your arm. I'm like, what? Like, who are you arm wrestling? Brock Lesnar? Like, you're going to break your arm. Like, what are you talking about? And then apparently it's like, if your own arm is too strong for your own bone.
Yeah, it's like a stress fracture.
No, this wasn't a stress fracture. The one that I watched, stress fracture.
I know what video you're talking about. It's like a compound break. The whole arm snaps in half. It's disgusting.
Real big.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you,
is
TJ.
The
NFL Combine.
Yeah, not Combine.
Which TJ is supposed to come on the podcast eventually too, but quarantine's got us on not fleek. Is that a thing?
Do we still say that?
Did we ever say that? On fleek is a thing. On not fleek?
Fleek.
I never said on fleek, and I shouldn't have. So saying something that shouldn't be like.
The only time I've ever used that term was regarding like eyebrows.
I think that's where it started. His eyebrows on fleek.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever used it. It's like your eyebrows are on fleek.
All right. Well, what is okay? I got it. All right. Since TJ came in at me on the combine, since he wants to be a smart at.
You asked the question.
I did. Thank you, though, TJ. What does everybody think TJ can run the 40-yard dash? And me and TJ will have a 40-yard dash race.
TJ's pretty speedy.
I know. I'm not trying to say that people to put him down. I'm just wondering. I want people to give us some.
Also, you just voluntold TJ he's gonna race you.
It's a 6-second race. It's, if you're really slow.
Is it?
Well, sub-5 is fast. You're not going to be like, if you go into the 60s, it'd be like walking. It's such a short race that like each 10th is huge. Like, so yeah.
It's like swimming.
Yeah, but even it'd be like half of a lap of swimming. Like the times would be that crucial.
TJ said, "I'm fat."
Yeah, but you're speedy, and once you get that mass moving, TJ, put a parachute on you. That bad boy doesn't want to stop.
Oh my
That
God.
bad boy. I say that bad boy so much. My daughter started going. If I say, "Hey, do you want to play with your tricycle?" No, I don't want to play with that bad boy. I didn't even say like, "Do you want to play with that bad boy?" I just say, "Do you want to play with your tricycle?" And that's what she answers with. That's how much I say it. She just starts saying, "No, I don't want that bad boy right now." Or, "Yeah, give me that bad boy." I'm like, "The remote?" She's like, "Yeah, that bad boy."
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You say it a lot.
I didn't realize it. What Amelia did. People broke their arm in arm wrestling. I said in the beginning I was going to be doing call-outs of other podcasts. I talked about sports bar podcast, sports grill party. I don't even know. Who cares? They're cool. I'm part of their page, but I'm calling out tonight a big one, which I didn't want to go too big. I talked about it that one night BJ was on. He's like, "I call it Joe Rogan." That's a little far-fetched. I don't think Joe Rogan's going to care about the guys out here. But this one, I'm a little bit serious, even though it's way far-fetched. Glass Case of Emotions. Ryan Blaney's podcast. He started years ago when podcasting hadn't even really hit anything NASCAR. It was before Dale Jr. Download. It was before Michael Waltrip's podcast, whatever you want to call that. I think it was before all that. It goes back pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
And Bubba Wallace used to, be a guest a lot. Kim Coons is a huge co-host, and along with one other guy that co-hosts. It's the three of them usually, but they did, they were pretty heavy at first where they were doing every week or two, and then it just kind of started falling off. And I think it's ran by MRN Network. Like, they've got it's a real studio, real production, MRN Network, and then, like, they just kind of dropped off. And now it's, like, season 4, and it's, like, episode 4, I think, but, every couple weeks, it's, like,
Sporadic.
and for a while there, it, went away to where, season 3 only had, literally 2 episodes the whole year. Like, that's not acceptable. Like, what are they doing over there? I just calling y'all out, dude. Y'all are doing some sloppy work with the Glass Case of Emotions podcast. So they're probably not gonna have me on now, but it's whatever. They need to tighten up. I'm serious. I got into it. It was one thing that I started watching. I'd watch them out here, and then it was just like, oh, we don't do that anymore. It still exists. We're gonna get back to it. This is all before quarantine too. This is years ago when they started, getting around to, oh, maybe we'll do an episode this week. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll. That's not what you do. When you have a show, when you have a podcast, you do an episode every week, or you at least make an effort. You don't go, oh, I'll do one, and then maybe a couple months from now I'll do one more, and then that'll finish up the season.
That sucks.
That's garbage. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't care who got married, who did what. Bring in another person. Do what you have to do to make it happen. Because y'all had a real network, and like I said, they're still doing it now, so they can flag this video if they want. I don't care, but I'm just saying, it pissed me off because I got into it, and then it's like, oh, you expect it, and then it's just like, oh, we don't do that show anymore.
Yeah.
We'll probably do 1 or 2 episodes next year. What?
It's like Doctor Who.
Yeah, I don't watch that garbage show either.
All right.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
What's everybody else saying? What did TJ say about his time? What does everybody else say I can do the time in? Did they comment?
No, but TJ said there's only a few reasons I'll make this mass move. And Fuller says...
TJ.
Oh my god, TJ.
All right, well, we can do a pull-up challenge, TJ.
It's still moving his mass.
It's true. It's up and down, too. It's even worse.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it either.
Fuller says listen to Off Axis podcast.
What is that about Fuller?
Probably racing. He also says Sunday Money is a good podcast.
Some people might say this podcast is about racing, but...
It kind of is.
I talked about the noises in my butt, maybe the toilet earlier, so...
Oh my god. I hope you used the face that you made when you did that as the thumbnail for your YouTube. Because it was really...
I'm not that...
a sight.
I need a... I don't know the word. I need an IT guy over here to be able to do stuff like that.
Dude, guys, when this when this live is over, go back and watch that snippet of him talking about his butthole.
Whoa! You don't talk about it like that. But
you did an impersonation of your butt, dude.
I know. I'm just kidding. It just sounded weirder when you were talking about it.
Well, it was super weird.
Did anybody share it too? We're supposed to get some shares. Oh, and somebody share it to the good pages. All your pages. Not even Short Track Saturday Night Short Tracking. Share it to all of them. Remember last week we shared it to.
Oh
Saturday.
Yeah, Alex did share it to whatever that page was. But yeah,
that
please
one,
go comment, like,
more.
and share on our video.
I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm just gonna say share it to all the pages. They'll keep it real.
But
watched a video earlier about some chick literally. It's like I think on Twitch or something like that. It's like $5 to subscribe. You have to pay.
I don't know.
I don't know what it was either, but she was literally begging people, like, in the weirdest way, or demanding people, like, it's not much, it's not like it's a whole meal I'm asking from you, and all this kind of stuff, like, and she got in a bunch of trouble.
Is it like a fans only kind of thing?
No.
Oh.
But she got in a bunch of trouble, like, a bunch of bad feedback from it, like, everybody, like, you went way overboard on, like, begging for fans, blah, 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 but all she was pretty much saying was, like, I'm not asking you to give up a meal, blah, blah, blah. If it were me, yeah. Give up a meal, go subscribe, or something. I don't care. If you had to miss a meal, I don't care. That's not that far. I don't think it's that bad. She did go hard, though. She said some other things I wish I could remember right now that were like... She went... I should bring it up. I should have looked... I was watching it literally 10 minutes before this started, but I wasn't writing anything down. I was like doing stuff and just listening to it in the background. But maybe next week I'll be a little bit more prepared for that.
Oh my god.
What?
That's just so weird.
What?
Oh, also,
that I don't know.
Brenden Queen tuned in.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Shout out to Brenden Queen. Won the Blake Morris 200 Memorial Race today. That was dope. I watched most of it. I was dropping Amelia off and stuff like that, but, he pretty much dominated the whole race. He led pretty much all of it that I watched, and then I tuned back in, and he was starting on the outside pole, and I think grabbed the lead back. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then the next thing I know, he was back in the lead again, and he pretty much dominated the rest of the race. So that was pretty cool. I know he's been doing iRacing for a long time and won a lot of races and stuff like that, but that was a big one. And especially right now when you can't race anyway. I mean, that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
That's the only one.
That's the only one. It's the biggest race today. So, shout out to him. That was dope. And hopefully that was him at that beach fire talking to my work helper in Virginia Beach that one time that says that's the guy with the gold car, right? I wish we could pan over to the gold car sitting over here, but we can't. Well, we could, but it would be shaky. It wouldn't be worth it. You don't like that shit. Yeah. Stuff. Sorry. Did anybody else say anything? It's just about it. There was one other thing I was going to talk about, but I lost it somewhere throughout the mix.
Did you?
Did anybody else say they had dreams about falling?
A lot of people
hate
have. I mean, a lot of people have had that dream, but nobody ever hits the ground.
Yeah. Well.
That's basically the consensus. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure that's like a legit thing. Like, you never hit the ground in that dream.
Or just like they say, you can't die in your dreams. regardless of not hitting the ground. There could be a guy about to shoot you with a gun, and you ain't got a ready for it.
Right, right. Oh, Fuller says he's hit the ground.
Really?
For real?
That was in real life, Fuller.
You just fell out of your bed, dude.
Yeah, Pocahontas, 7,604 acres.
Yeah, it's a big spot.
We live
big
right
place.
next to it, so that's pretty cool. Biggest state park in Virginia. To get back to that, because I had said something about 7,000 acres, and I didn't know earlier, so
Yeah.
I just found that, and I figured I'd let you in.
Yeah, it's a big place.
It is big. It's not that big, but it's still. I wish there were more parks. Again, shout out to our sponsors, Sarah K. Speed Shots, all my racing sponsors, Mike Myers Floor Company, Gabby's Graphics, Hayes Insurance, Don Hardison, Hudson's Beard Oil, Coast to Coast Design Company. That's the end. Sorry. See, the problem is when I go up and I try to go back down, I'm using my it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm on the roll now though. I got my scroll button. It's up to date. It's rocking. Shout out to Brenden Queen. What was the other thing? Shout out to Virginia, the best state in the U.S., baby. Even though y'all are hating on the governor right now and stuff like that, which is fine. It's still, all these facts. Doesn't matter who's running this place.
That's
shout
fair.
out to him. And shout out to the next governor. Shout out to all of them. All of them suck. All politicians suck. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other headline? Shout out to Virginia.
I think
Shout out
that's
to
it.
my butt. There was one other one. There was one other one.
I don't want to talk about your butt anymore.
I know, I don't want to either. That's why I said there was one other one, not that one.
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, hopefully next time we talk to y'all, not hopefully on this.
Actually,
next time we talk to
definitely.
y'all, there will definitely
For
be
sure.
a young man here in this world, and maybe a video of me running a 40-yard dash in high socks. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see
If y'all
what
would
we
have given
can
me
do.
some time, I'd have some goals to beat, but nobody sent anything in. I don't know, sub
We can
5. That's a
sub
little
5.
ridiculous. That's crazy. I'll do sub 5 coming at you, baby.
Yep. It's
Before next
happening.
week. If I have to, if everything's going crazy, I will wake up in the middle of the night and I will go off out here on my own, pre-recorded, upload, whatever I got to do.
We'll have new content for you next week,
We'll
regardless
post-
of whether
yeah.
it's live or not.
Yeah, and when I do the 40-yard dash, I'll post a video of that too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve Porter for the idea, and hopefully he's got a time for me that he expects me to beat. Thank you all, and good night.